You can come right. Way to go. All right. Liam's dad, Brian, was telling us that he wants to be a mayor when he grows up, so we've given him a little taste of the gavel. So hopefully that'll kindle the spirit for him. All right. All right, let me just get to where we're going here. All right, everyone, welcome to Town Council's regular meeting. Today is the 12th of January. This is a statement of compliance with the Sunshine Law. NJSA 4-10. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. An adequate notice of this meeting was provided as required by law. Specifically, the annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 5th, 2026. And 40-hour notice, I guess we should say NJ.com from now on, right? And 48-hour notice was emailed to the same publications on December 18th, 2025. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on livingstonNJ.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purposes of personnel and or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to members of the governing body and township staff and use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of township business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at https://www.facebook.com, Livingston Township NJ. Questions or comments may also be accepted by emailing to livecomments@livingstonNJ.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting and shared with the Township Council before the meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in the Livingston Code 2-15.3. Carolyn, roll call, please.
Councilmember Meinhardt.
Here.
Anthony.
Here.
Vieira.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Bapani.
Here.
Mayor Klein.
Here. Okay. So if everyone can please rise, join us in a moment of silence. I want to just address a big loss that the state has had. Senator Dick Cody passed away this past weekend. He was the 53rd governor of the state. He also represented Livingston in the state Senate for about, I think, 40 years. He was in the state legislature for 50 years. He was, I think, a friend to almost everyone up here on this dais. He always had a tremendous emphasis on taking the stigma away from mental health and encouraging people to talk about it and seek treatment when they needed it. That was a very personal issue to him. I'll always remember him personally for a very firm handshake and a big laugh, and he was very generous with his time. So let's take a minute and think about Governor Cody and his family. Thank you. We're going to move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Colby Wright, I've known you since you were a baby. Will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? All right. Chloe, you going to lead us? You. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Everyone can please take a seat. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Essex County updates. I don't see Eileen Fishman. She's here. She's not? Okay, so we'll move on. Tonight we have a proclamation and a presentation. The first one is we are here to honor our state champion, Livingston Lancer girls soccer team. We're very excited to have them here today. We're going to call everyone up and give them certificates and congratulate them for making this town so proud. Why don't we all go down and we'll call them up. This is for girls soccer. Yeah. I figure we'll bring them up. Yeah.
Good. So we have some citations here. Maya Ray. Not here? Okay. Then we have Ala Sherman. I'm batting 1,000, aren't I? Oh, that's baseball. Sorry. Zoe Rappaport. Let's see if we could do this one. Sierra Reddy? Oh, thank God. Congratulations. I got one more. Oh, I got two more. That was soccer. Deandra Curdy? Riley Cullen.
Chloe Wright. Congratulations. Sophia Botia.
They didn't give you a sweatshirt? That's on me.
No, I just forgot that.
Sienna Goldstein. Hunter Lonsman. Stella DiFrancesco. Gabriella Di Alvaria.
All right, champ. All right.
Reese Manoff. Not here? Okay.
Izzy Kalela? No? All right, I said it wrong. Olivia Hans? Oh, I'm doing well. Okay. Well, they're all the same. Doesn't matter. Mariella Favo? All right. Ariana Levitsky? All right.
All right, way to go.
Sorry. Daisy Cheng, first team All-State. Congratulations. And who's after that? Emily Fernandez. All right.
Great job. All right. Oh, wait. Do we have Zoe Nightingale? All right. Victoria Quinn? All right. Come on up.
All right, way to go.
Congratulations. Here's your certificate. Dina Bojkovic. Did I say it right? Troy Quick. Okay, got it. Sorry about that. After Dina. Casey Conklin. All right. How about Ariel Stein? Congratulations. Do we have Olivia Giordano? Congratulations. Marisa Solomon? Do we have Aubrey Chung? Congratulations. This is Aubrey. Congratulations. Here you go. Do we have our managers as well? Yeah. You got the managers? Okay.
All right, good. So let's bring up head coach Brian Carr. All right, assistant coaches Kate Swindell. It's on? That's everyone's here. Okay, fine, good. Okay, good. So, absolutely. So I want to just, I want to read what the plaque says. It's short. It says, the mayors and members of Livingston Township Council are pleased to recognize the LHS varsity girls soccer team. Congratulations to the girls soccer program for winning the SEC Conference American Division, the North 1 Group 4 sectional title, and for winning the program's first ever New Jersey Group 4 state title. So we congratulate all the players. This is a plaque. Coach Carr, if you want to come on over here. My wife is here, Cindy. Cindy and I went and we drove out to see the finals. Oh, yeah. And what a thrill it was to watch you guys playing. That was one of the most fun soccer games I've ever seen before. It made us burst with pride to see the Lancers win. And we just couldn't wait to get you guys in here to celebrate you, get you up on TV. You're going to be on LTV. How exciting is that? And yeah, so we're going to, listen, come on over here. We're going to get a picture, all right? Do you guys, council, want to go up? It's a lot of people. Yeah, why don't you guys, if you guys want to heads up, Ed and Kane, you want to go up? Yeah, it's not going to fit. What's that?
Okay.
All right, state champs, okay.
Clear the way, clear the way.
Now we're going to move along. All right, state champs, thanks for coming. We're going to move along to inspiring community action in Livingston. We'll just give them a second to step out if they're doing that so that we can hear. All right, guys, go home and study. All right. Yeah, of course. That was just for that. All right. So, Disti Khanna, you're here this morning? Good. We'd like you to come up. She's coming to talk about her experience with the National Charity League, inspiring community action in Livingston. So she have a presentation for us just to explain what you've been up to and how you're helping out in the community. Fantastic. So there's a microphone just right over there if you want to just speak about it. Do you have a presentation that's, you're just going to speak about it? Okay, to the mic, good. You can face the camera, just talk to the people at home.
Okay. Hi, I'm Disti. I'm a sophomore at LHS, and I recently led like a holiday basket drive, and we collected $3,000 in donations from local organizations like PetSmart, Canoebrook Dentistry, Livingston Family Eye Care, Livingston Family Orthodontics, and the Stan K team with Compass and Ellen Gonick. And I went to Newark and Clifton, and I distributed it with Embrace Relief and Bridges Outreach, and I was able to support over like hundreds of families, and I'm so happy because I have like such a supportive community to help me do this.
Hang on, District.
Thank you, Disti. We really appreciate it. Why don't we go down and take a picture with Disti? So we've all had members from the National Charity League. I think, Al, your daughter does that, right?
Wife and daughter.
Well, wife, right, does it with daughter, right. It's a mother-daughter group. And so we've had a lot of, a lot of the students that have worked with their moms coming out and talking to us about, some of the real hours of work and effort that you've made and the difference that you can make in the community when you make an effort. So thanks so much for coming and for telling us about some of the stuff that you've been up to. Thanks for coming in, yes. We're going to move to our regular business. So we move now to section approval of minutes pending any corrections.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 8th, 2025, regular and closed, the 29 special meetings, 29 special meeting closed, and the January 4th, 2026 reorg meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any objections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's move on. This is, we get to public comment on agenda items only. There's a 4-minute time limit.
Motion to open public comment on agenda items only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before I open, that's, thank you. Okay. Are there anyone have any comment on agenda items? Yes. There's some fine young men who are coming up here to talk about agenda items. So if you can say your name and whether you live in town, and just talk about the agenda item that you're interested in discussing, we'd like to hear about it.
All right, hello, my name is Ruhan Majulri, and I go to Livingston High School.
My name is Jack Klein. I also go to Livingston High School.
And we're here today to talk about the resolution that we are advocating for as part of our nonprofit organization, Young Minds, Big Ideas. The resolution essentially creates a recognition for entrepreneurs in our town. This could be something that students will be able to use on college applications, resumes, and a way to receive recognition for their entrepreneurial pursuits, as entrepreneurship is not something that's typically rewarded in a typical sense. So we have criteria such as completion of certain business courses at the high school, completion of community service projects, which culminates in a ceremony in which they would receive a certificate for completion of this program.
We really think that this will make Livingston a city upon a hill to other towns, because especially in a town like Livingston where you have so many different kids with all these wonderful achievements at the high school, this gives more of a way to help distinguish kids that are inclined to entrepreneurship that might not have been recognized otherwise.
And in coordination with our nonprofit, Young Minds, Big Ideas, we have roughly 24 chapters across the tri-state area. So after this is like kind of our pilot test with Livingston, we'll recommend our other chapters do this as well, bringing this to the county, and then continue our work with Senator McKeon, Senator McKeon's office, to hopefully one day bring this to the NJ Assembly / Congress.
So we want to thank again the Livingston Town Council for helping to bring all this together. Everyone who helped to draft the resolution, thank you so much, and all of your cooperation. Special thank you to Councilman Vieira for helping to support Young Minds for over a year now with all of our events and other stuff.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you to the council for this opportunity. Definitely thank you to Mr. Vieira for even two and a half years maybe ago where we started this. And yes, thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, gentlemen. So when we get to the resolutions, which are the next item that we'll be getting to, or after the ordinance, but we'll be voting on your resolution shortly. Okay, there is any other public comment?
Motion to close public comment?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, public comment is closed. We will now move to, there's one ordinance tonight for introduction. Madam Clerk, can you please read the ordinance number by title?
Ordinance 1-2026, creating a new chapter 129 entitled Electric Bicycles and Electric Scooters.
Great.
Move it on first reading.
Second? Okay. Okay. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, thank you. I mean, I would like to have a couple of comments in. Thank you. I think this is something that stems from the conversations that each of us on the council have with residents. There was a school PTA presidents and PTA board members that came to us, they came to me and started talking about how dangerous the electric vehicles have become. Of course, there is a benefit to it as well in the sense that it gives the mobility to kids, the young adults. It is fun, but it also dangerous is the way that if it is not regulated correctly, it creates situations, and there are neighboring towns that has issues and that has fatalities that relates to these e-bikes or e-vehicles. So this ordinance really reflects our commitment that we lead thoughtfully. We don't react, but just lead and be proactive about it. The technology continues, right? It doesn't change. The change happens all the time, but how do we make it safer? As council members here, our first obligation is safety of our residents, the pedestrians, the families. We do not want an unfortunate accident happens and then we react on it. So what this ordinance does, and I would like Barry to sort of give us a little bit of a highlight of all of this, but I want to acknowledge a couple of efforts here. These are really setting reasonable rules. These are saying that, hey, these are our guidelines. This is what you should do. This is what as parents you should be aware of. And make sure your kids, the pedestrians, the law enforcement, how the police can really regulate it. This encompasses everything. So it's really creates safety. It creates the future of the order that we really want. I would like to thank Jared and his office for pulling this together. We studied the ordinances, similar ordinances passed in the neighboring towns. There is also an ordinance being drafted at the state level. So we are in conjunction working at a variety of different levels, but also not sitting back and taking the first step forward and showing to our residents that this is what you really want to do in order to safeguard your families, the pedestrians around where the e-vehicles gets operated. If you are taking it to school, what do you do about that? And stuff like that. So Barry, I'll hand it over to you and thank you as well for pulling a lot of these details together. If you can give us the highlight of it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as Deputy Mayor Patani indicated, obviously, I think everybody's aware of the explosion in the popularity of these e-bikes, and they go faster, people drive more recklessly. It's just a recipe for disaster. So without summarizing, going through every provision, essentially this ordinance makes it very clear that the rules of the road apply to e-bikes. All the traffic laws apply, requires e-bikes be properly equipped with brakes, with lighting, that the riders wear helmets, that they stay in the bike lanes, that they signal, that they yield to pedestrians, that they stop at stop signs, all the things that any other motorized vehicle would have to do. But currently, I think e-bike people feel like they can just ride around, run stop signs, do whatever they want to do. So I think it's a great measure to show, I think, the commitment of the mayor and council to safety, not only of the pedestrians and other people and other vehicles, but also of the usually kids, but anybody riding these e-bikes. So as Deputy Mayor alluded to, there is some pending legislation potentially out of the state that may add additional layers, including potential licensing, things that we don't have the local jurisdiction to require any kind of licensing. But this is a great step in the first step, I think.
Thank you, Barry. It also adds the speed limits component as well, right?
Yes.
It does add that. So absolutely, this is a first reading. So we'd love for community engagement on this one. Almost every home, if you look around, started either thinking about it or have one. So it's important that we as parents, we as families, we look at this and say, what is safe for us? Myself as a biker, I see this all the time. I ride regular bike, but I do see e-bikes zooming past, but that's okay. I mean, that they are meant for that, as long as they are having safeguards around it. The most important part, which Barry alluded to already, is the law enforcement. We want to ensure that, and this has been reviewed by our chief of police as well, this needs to be clearly understood by our law enforcement and accordingly the residents as well. So it's important that we bring both the sides together and create safety for ourselves. Once again, this is the first reading. Before the second reading, would love to have some engagement from the residents and continue taking this forward. Thank you, Mayor.
Great. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Buptani for his work on this. It's a passion project for him. And also, of course, Barry for his work on this. And this is an issue that's come up even in my own household. There are concerns about the safety of these bikes. And, the cap on the miles per hour for the level 2 bike is 20 miles per hour. I think we've been very fortunate in this township that we have not had any major injuries related to e-bikes, but we don't want to wait until one of them happens. And so it's great that I think that we'll be able to push this forward and hopefully preclude anything terrible from happening here.
Mayor, I'll say it also, some of the additional comments, you're precluded from allowing to riding these on sidewalks, which is a big safety concern. If you go onto the sidewalk, you have to walk your e-bike. It also excludes them from public parks, which is also dangerous when you have young kids riding around. So those are two other features of the ordinance that I wanted to highlight for the governing body and the public.
Excellent. And I just want to say, Jared also did some good work on this, and he's here tonight on his 50th birthday. So we want to wish him a very, very happy birthday. Just because you're picking the mic up right now, I just have to say it again. I'll say it again before the night's over. Madam Clerk, can we have a call, please? Roll call.
Yes. Councilmember Meinhardt.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Vieira.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buptani.
Yes.
Mayor Klein.
Yes. And when will the second reading be for that?
Yes, I'm sorry. The second reading is scheduled for Monday, January 26th, 2026.
Great. So if the public has any comments on this, we really would like to hear them and perhaps incorporate some of the changes if anyone thinks they're necessary. But we think this is a really well-rounded. We've talked to our police about this. We've seen other towns what they've done, and we think this is a very good place to be. That brings us, excuse me, to the consent agenda. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Are there any items that councilman would like to see pulled out? And then also, I think a couple are going to be shelved for today.
Mayor, I'd like to see 26079 pulled out for a separate vote.
Okay,
I also would like to see 26060 and 066. They can be read together, please.
060 and 066.
Those two can be read together.
Thank you. Anything else, Councilman? Nope. Okay.
I thought we had pulled a couple of
That, we're going to just mention that now, too. So we're pulling 80, was it? We're pulling
Resolution 071 and 26080.
080. So 71, excuse me, and 080 will be pulled. Okay. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda? Yep. That's fine. Okay. Carolyn, will you read what's
Sure,
left? Thank you.
absolutely. Resolution
okay.
26061, authorizing the award of a contract to Antonelli Cantor, wait. Oh, yeah, okay. Antonelli Cantor Rivera, Tax Appeal Council for General Tax Appeals. Resolution 26-062, authorizing the award of a contract to McManaman, Scotland and Bauman LLC for special counsel iBank funding. Resolution 26-063, authorizing the award of a contract to McManaman, Scotland and Bauman LLC, Redevelopment Council. Resolution 26-064, authorizing the award of a contract to Gibbons PC. Resolution 26-065, authorizing the award of a contract to Samuel Klein and Company. Resolution 26-067, authorizing the award of a contract to Acuity Consulting Services, LLC. Resolution 26-068, Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Fiscal Grant Cycle, July 2020 to June 2025. Resolution 26-069, person-to-person and place-to-place transfer of alcoholic beverage control license, Marsag LP, to NJ Ale House 4 LLC, also known as Blue Live. Resolution 26-070, authorizing the award of a contract to Rio Supply, Inc. Resolution 26-072, authorizing purchases under Morris County Cooperative Pricing System. Resolution 26-073, authorizing purchases under the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Purchasing Program. Resolution 26-074, authorizing purchases under the State of New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program. Resolution 26-075, authorizing the award of a contract to Edmunds GovTech, Inc. Resolution 26-076, authorizing the award of a contract to Prime Point LLC. Resolution 26-077, authorizing use of competitive contracting. Resolution 26-078, authorizing use of competitive contracting for maintenance, custodial, and groundskeeping. And Resolution 26-081, authorizing transfer of 2025 budget appropriation reserves.
May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Madam, can you please, clerk, can you please call
Yes,
the roll?
Councilmember Meinhardt?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Baptani?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Okay, yes. So let's go back to the ones that were pulled. Can I have a motion or I guess we can discuss, but can I have a motion to approve resolution number? I guess we'll discuss
They have to
first,
be
right?
read. They have to be read.
So let's
You have
read
to read
60
60
first.
yeah.
You can do 60 and 66 together.
Thank you.
Councilman Meinhardt wants.
Resolution 26060, authorizing the award of a contract to Antonelli Cantor Rivera Affordable Housing Council, and Resolution 26-066, authorizing the award of a contract to Topology NJ LLC.
Comments?
Yes, I want to pull these two out. At the end of this past year and the beginning of the year, this town announced a fourth-round settlement with Fair Share Housing that we were required to build absolutely zero apartments. We are probably one of the few towns, maybe the only town in the state of New Jersey that did this. The two contracts that are up for renewal right now for 60, which is for the Antonelli Cantor Rivera for affordable housing, and for the contract to Topology New Jersey LLC, which are our town planners. It's a direct result of the hard work that these two organizations did for this town. We up here do not know everything. We know very little about this. We've learned a lot over the last few years, and what this town and what this council does, and I commend everybody up here, is that we hired experts to do the work. and they did a tremendous job, along with our town manager, Barry Lewis, as well. I'm very proud of the work that was done last year, very proud of the work that this whole council did as a group to get to that resolution, and as a direct result of both Jared's hard work and also everybody at Topology. And so I just want to call that out. And Jared, also want to wish you a happy 50th birthday as well. But it's just important to call that out because we are renewing these contracts for that reason.
So, Jared, are we permitted to vote on 60 and 66 at the same time?
Yeah, so thank you, Councilman, and again, you know, our township manager really led the charge, and this council really led the charge. We had our marching orders they gave us. They said, you know, be tough, negotiate hard. They really fought hard for all the residents in this township, and it's a result of, you know, their determination and the policies they set forth that allowed myself, Topology, along with, you know, our township manager to really come through for the township. So I thank everybody up here for all your support and confidence in our firm and what we did. So thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments on this?
Mayor, most have been said already. Thank you. Most have been said already. Ed mentioned it very eloquently. I would just add that I have a personal experience when I saw on the conference calls with the courts, the lawsuits that we were facing, the fourth round challenges that came along, the professionalism that Jared's office had showed, the Topology folks have come up with the details and the plans and the material that really helped us defend. And I think I underscore what Ed said. We are one of the few towns that has defended ourselves so successfully. Not only we have zero obligation, we carried credits to the fifth round. So that's an awesome thing. Thank you, Barry, as well on this topic. But again, I completely agree and wholeheartedly approve and want to approve the two resolutions we have on the agenda. Thank you.
Any other comments? No? Okay. I would just also, Jared, maybe you can remind me the number. When those four last, I'll use the word assaults on our agreement were made, what was the total number? It's like 400 and something?
It was over 600.
It was over 600. They were trying to squeeze 600 more units into our agreement. And as I said before, your firm was able to defend us against that, and it was a huge win for the town.
We'll be amending our agreement, which has better terms for the township at our next meeting, but all four challenges were set aside. All four were withdrawn, with no additional units being put into Livingston.
Great work. Thank you. Madam, can we, Jared, we're able to vote on 60 and 66 at the same time?
Yeah, the council agreed to it. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so can we please call the roll on that?
I didn't get a motion to move.
Motion to move those two.
Second.
Councilmember Meinhardt?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Vieira?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Baptani?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes. That brings us to the last one that was pulled out was 26-079. Any comments on that?
I have to read it.
Establishing, 26079,
I gotta get this down.
establishing a social entrepreneurship certificate of recognition for the Young Minds Big Ideas nonprofit youth organization.
Any comments?
Mayor, I'd like to make a couple comments, and I want to first congratulate Ruhan Jaka and their entire organization. These are, when they say young minds, these are young minds, and it's amazing what our high school actually produces. These are high school kids who've actually created an organization which, you know, I've been privileged to be assisting them, not, you know, for the last 2.5, 3 years, and it's great to see how they're working. They actually created a 501c3 organization. It's not coming from the school. This is their own organization, and I know how difficult it is because I've created a 501c3, and it's not easy. But I want to congratulate them because this is a project or a program that I believe Livingston, and you could correct me, is the first in the state to have. And it's great that, and I said on our reorganization meeting, Livingston leads, we do not follow. And this is one of the things that I mean is that Livingston does mean lead. And Jared, I do want to congratulate and thank Antonelli Cantor Rivera, especially Ted Keast, who's also here in the audience with us, who helped put this resolution together to get this going. But Ruhan, Jack, congratulations. I don't think you're going to have any problem having it passed, and whatever you need from this council, myself also, you know that we're only a phone call away, but congratulations on what you guys have accomplished so far.
I would just add to that. Ruhan and Jack, it's as a point of personal privilege to say that it makes me very proud when you guys come into the chambers and present it to us. What a great job you've done explaining the idea and what you come up with. And, I think that we've heard a lot of support from the council about your idea. And it's not something I take personally that you've done an end around me using Michael as a primary contact point, but that's all right if you do that.
Mayor, just one quick comment on this one. So Livingston is known for its business acumen, business from the schools, coming out of a fantastic business program. What you see here with this is a practical use of putting it in action. So congratulations to both of you. I think I know both of your parents, and I believe they are fantastic people. But the insertion of the characters and the values that got into it is fabulous. I think what you did is amazing, the way you explained it, and the way you explained it in the conference room as well last time. So fantastic job, great articulation. Keep going and fly higher. Thank you for doing this.
And Jack, don't worry about what Dad just said. You come to me anytime.
All right, great. Ask for a motion, please.
I'll move it.
Oh, I'm
Second.
sorry, second.
Okay. Carolyn?
Councilmember Meinhardt?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Buntani?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Proudly, yes.
I make a motion to open the meeting to public portion on any subject.
Second.
I didn't expect to have to wait so long. It's hard for me to come out. I'm Jean Stoloff, 18 North Drive.
Gene, talk into the mic, just if you want, they won't pick it up at home. Yeah.
I said it's not so easy for me to come out at night for these meetings, and that's why I made the phone calls I did today, and I was assured that I'd be able to do it before the meeting inside, and then I was told I thought that it was going to be at the beginning of this meeting. But please, before I complain too much, let me congratulate you for having the opportunity both to speak and to get feedback from you, because unfortunately, I know the spirit of Brendan Byrne and the Sunshine Law because I was here when it was passed, and you're exhibiting that you're following through on it. There's another body in town that is not, and I hope they will be called down because of it. I'm not a lawyer, but I do believe that there was an intention there for public input and feedback, not just one way. But I'd like to congratulate you on that, and then I'd like to complain because, it's never completely one way or the other. When I came and asked you first to consider having an ordinance for demonstrations, I made an appointment and I spoke with Ed Meinhardt because you had that meet the mayor in the room. I didn't want to take time from your public meetings, and I believe that everything that I said was acceptable because he didn't complain about it, and I don't know where your lawyer got the information that he had everything and that he knew what I wanted because he wasn't at that meeting and no minutes were taken. So I don't know how he could have known what it was that I requested. I think an apology is in order.
You still have 25 seconds, Gene.
Oh, I've got 25 seconds.
Are you waiting for it?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the main thing is, if you had had an ordinance, that incident that happened at Suburban Torah might have been prevented And that's what I was trying to do. I think I came at least 5 times, and I may have interjected other things when I was talking, but it had nothing to do with the ordinance.
All right, thank you, Jean. I don't know if, Counselor, if you have any comments that you want to make, and just to, in the past, we've talked about this issue that Jean's brought up, and the feeling, of course, was that it would be difficult to accommodate what she was asking for.
Yeah, no, I think we reiterated that we reviewed it, and we believe that our current code is where the governing body is comfortable with our current code and how we handle protests. We believe that everyone certainly has their constitutional and First Amendment right just to assemble and to protest and to speak their minds. And we try to accommodate that while obviously keeping everyone in Livingston safe. We coordinate with our township manager and our police chief, and we don't believe that our current code needs any changes based on your suggestions.
Okay, I did ask rather specific questions.
Jean,
Wait,
your
but
time's
just
up,
quickly.
yeah.
Okay, I asked specific questions about checking with other towns around who had ordinances. I would like to be told back how many towns we checked with and how many had ordinances, and how, if we consider the things that were in those ordinances.
Okay, I would just say, Jared your firm represents 20 towns. How many towns are you guys attorneys for?
I mean, over 30, but we're
Over 30.
municipal attorneys in 8.
Okay. So
Does
there's
that-
8, and so you are familiar with the.
Yeah, I believe Livingston's, comparable or in similarly situated, or actually Livingston, given the number of protests we've had in the recent years, I think is even more prepared for these types of issues.
All right, thank you, Jared.
I was never given any of that information. I'd like to have it.
Jean, please send me an email with your specific questions, and we will get back to you on it. Yeah. Okay. Well, we want to answer your questions. Please, you know how to reach me. Please send me an email. I will make sure all your questions are answered.
Thank you.
Okay. Other members from the public wish to comment, please?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Joyce Armando, 7 Greenwood Court. I live directly behind the Express Auto Spa Car Wash. This is my 4th time here. I have an update and a concern that I would like to discuss. So as you're aware, multiple decibel testings were conducted over the past several months at both the car wash and at my property. This past Friday, the Essex County Office of Public Health Management and Enforcement issued the car wash its first official noise violation. It's basically just a warning. The car wash has been given 30 days to reduce noise levels to the New Jersey state limit of 65 decibels or below, or face fines. So what that means is that I have to then put in another complaint at 30 days and request that they go out there again, and so on until this gets resolved. So that violation confirms what I've been saying for months. The operation is out of compliance and the noise is unlawful. However, and this is critical, despite this official violation, I'm still getting no relief, and the township has still taken no action to assist or protect me. The car wash continues to operate 17 vacuum stations, even though only 15 were approved. 17 air hoses that were never approved by the township. And all of them independently contribute to the excessive noise. Those conditions remain unchanged today. So while the county has now formally acted, the township has yet to explain why these vacuum stations and air hoses are still being allowed to operate. I have sent multiple emails. I have left multiple phone messages for Barry Lewis, none of which have been returned. That silence matters. At this point, I want to be very clear for the record that the township has actual notice of ongoing violations. The township knows the site is operating outside its approvals. The township knows that Essex County has issued a formal violation, and yet no township enforcement has been, it hasn't occurred. So that is not a lack of information anymore. That's blatant inaction. I also feel compelled to raise a serious concern that is now widely circulating in our community. I have been told by multiple sources that the former mayor, Mayor Meinhardt, has a personal friendship with the owner of this car wash. I'm not making an accusation, but I am stating on the record that the appearance of a conflict of interest now exists.
For the record,
I'm going to ask, yeah, I'm going to
Hold
let.
on, I'm going to go first.
Yeah, I'm going to let.
For
Councilman Markey.
the record, I've never met this gentleman in person. I met him twice on a Zoom, so I don't know where that comes from. Way off base.
There's multiple owners, so you don't know any of the owners?
I met one gentleman twice on a Zoom, and that was it. I've never met him in person.
That's
So I would appreciate
interesting.
if you would take that back.
Well, it wasn't an accusation.
It was an
It's what-
accusation. I
it's-
think it
No,
was
it's
a-
not.
no.
I just said it was not an accusation.
not what I heard.
I said it's being discussed in the community. I made it very clear it was not
I've
an
never met-
accusation.
I've never met- I've
But the
never
fact
met
that it is being discussed in this community, it has to be discussed here on the record.
Well, so we've heard Councilman
now-
Meinhardt say
now
it's
you
just
heard
not
it. Now
true.
you heard it.
Okay.
Okay.
I do, we did chat briefly before the meeting. I think, you've made some comments that the town has not been active on this. I would not agree with that characterization. I'm going to just ask Barry Lewis to just comment on some of the discussions we've been having with the county, because we are looking for enforcement, and he's going to address that.
Yeah, so full disclosure, this was the first, and I've been here almost 8 years, the first real noise complaint that we've had. So this is relatively new to us. As we got into this, I checked, and historically, for as long as I've been here and even before, the Essex Regional Health Commission was the enforcing agency for noise. When these complaints first came up, we went to them. We initially did it internally just with like an Amazon-bought decibel reader, but that certainly suggested it was over. So we involved Essex Regional Health Commission. They took the assignment. They went out there. They did testing. Their initial testing suggested that it was not above the state limit.
Because they took it from my deck.
I know. So then I think you and I don't know if he's your cousin?
My cousin.
Came back to us and did two things. I think one, explained that they hadn't necessarily taken it from the right location, and probably more importantly, told us for the first time we were always operating that it was the vacuums. We weren't even aware that these air hoses, they were not running when they did the test. So we had Essex Regional go out there again. They tested with the air hoses going. They did find violations. Then they told me they weren't issuing violations. And so at the beginning of December, after more than a month of screwing around with Essex Regional and them leading us to believe they were doing it, we were advised that they were no longer the authorized enforcing agency by Essex County, that had ended October 1st. They never told us that, so we didn't know any better. We assumed they were going to do it. That's how we got involved with Essex County. I think they've been responsive. They've been helpful. We were on a Zoom call today with them. I've had multiple calls and emails with Maya, who's the health officer, and her staff. They did confirm. I will say this, I'm equally frustrated with this notion, and I took issue with that on the call today, and I'm in the process of sending them some information. The way they're interpreting the code with this, you have 30 days to fix it. I think the intent is to address a condition that you couldn't just fix by shutting off a switch, right? So to me, you don't need 30 days to abate the air hoses, just turn them off. They took a different position. The mayor was on the call with me. We're sending them that, asking that the county attorney review it. I personally believe that they should be able to direct that it be shut off immediately. I do know we locally, one of the things we've learned throughout this process is because we have not adopted a local ordinance and we don't have a qualified person, we don't have enforcing authority. So I know it's frustrating. You say we haven't done anything to enforce. There's nothing we can do legally under the state statute unless a town has adopted an ordinance and hired a
So why do you
certified
have
person.
ordinances, and why are you all here? Why is there ordinances if you can't enforce them?
Well,
Or the permits that you issued to approve this car wash?
The ordinances that we have, they are older. They're not decibel driven. I don't know if you've looked at our noise code. It talks about the only one that even arguably applies would be the use of power equipment. but they're operating within the allowed hours, and there's no decibel amount limit stated. So in terms of our ordinance, there's some question whether it's even still enforceable or preempted by the State Noise Control Act or not. But the way it's currently written, it doesn't have any decibel limits. It only, and again, if you read it, I'm happy to send it to you. The only one that arguably apply would be power equipment, and that's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and they're within those limits. As far as the planning board, we have reviewed that. There was clearly testimony, but when you review the tape, their witness said, I'm reading the manufacturer's sheet says it's only 38 decibels, so we're quite confident we'll comply with the state noise ordinance. That did not then carry forward into an enforceable condition in the resolution. There was a recitation of that testimony in the resolution, but there wasn't any clear condition saying it shall not exceed X decibels, which also raises the question whether that would be enforceable anyway, whether it'd be preempted by the State Noise Control Act unless we had an ordinance. So I certainly understand your annoyance about the whole process. I'm equally frustrated and annoyed that we waste so much time with the Essex Regional Health Commission. We are aggressively trying to pursue the county to take a more aggressive approach, to take the position, and there's two different components in the State Noise Control Act and the regulations, the enforcement. One is they only are entitled to abatement if it's a minor violation. The definition of minor violation excludes, and the language in the statute is purposeful, reckless, or criminally negligent conduct. My position was that turning on a compressor that you know is going to be loud is purposeful, so I don't think it should count as minor, in which case they don't get a period of abatement. And quite frankly, even if they do get a period of abatement, the statute says 30 days or such other reasonable, or any other reasonable time that they think is necessary given this and what would be involved in turning it. So my point to them was, well, they don't need 30 days to just go turn off the air hoses. They could turn them off in 5 minutes. So that's the position that we're taking with them. To the extent I'll get Mr. Cantor involved, we are asking them to have it reviewed with the county attorney. I don't agree with the interpretation of the county health department, but.
But if there was 17 air hoses added after the final site plan approval that did not display any air hoses with the vacuum stations, why are they allowed to run?
Yeah, so we are looking at as well. There does not appear to be an indication on the plan that we've seen that says air hoses. There was, however, testimony from the operator that there would be air hoses to blow off the mats. So that's, again, sort of a gray area. And in terms of the 1715, my understanding is what's out there matches what was on the plans. It's really whether you're counting the vacuum hoses or you're counting the pieces, because apparently the two end units have two hoses, one on each side. So you end up with 17 hoses and 15 canisters. That's what my inspectors told me when they went out there. So in terms of the number, that was what was the answer we got.
Do you want to speak to that?
Yes.
Can he speak to that?
Yeah, he's got time.
Can he have his 3 minutes?
Yep. Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening. Anthony Armando. I'm 142 South Livingston Avenue. My number one question is this. How did this get by the planning board and building department? It clearly, there's one of two things happened, okay? Either a big mistake was made, which I don't believe it was. I know those guys in that building department, they're not stupid. Or there's something funny going on here. That's one of the two things, because this is ridiculous. This is blatant. It comes down to common sense. Just go over there and listen, which some of you guys have. What do you think? It sounds like Newark Airport, and it's been 4 months now that we're going through this. 4. The town council shut it down. You voted to shut it down. You did. You vote.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Shut it down. Shut it down. It's still running. It's been since the end of September. This nonsense is going on. Anybody here would not put up with this in their backyard. Nobody, none of you guys, none of you girls, none of you. That's how ridiculous this thing is. This is not a county issue. It's not a state issue. It happened in Livingston. The plan and the permit was issued, you approved it in Livingston.
Protect the residents behind this car wash.
Also, the site plan says how many, it says 15? 15. There's 17 stations there.
Did you guys guys vote to take 2 out of service?
It's
No.
it's on the
17
permit, it's on the
Why?
plan, it's on the site plan.
Are
Does
those-
it mean
are
anything?
2 going to be taken out of service at least? Are you going to enforce that?
The blowguns don't exist on the drawing. Don't exist on when they applied for the permit. They don't exist. And all of a sudden, 17 of them appear, and that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Again, town council, the town council voted to shut this thing down. Nothing was done. 4 months. Absolutely. This is not the town that I grew up in. You would never allow this. This have never been allowed 20 years ago. Never.
If you go to any of these car washes that have these vacuum stations and the air hoses, they're on Route 10, they're on Route 46. There is none that are butted up against to residential neighborhoods for a reason. So how Livingston, the planning board, the zoning board approved this is absurd. It is ridiculous. And you know what?
That's what I said.
My fight is going to be now against you, against the town for allowing this, because nobody is protecting us. It's not against the car wash anymore.
And incidentally, the car wash, antagonizing us,
Yes.
provoking me. It's not a good thing for them, trust me.
All right, Anthony, thank you for speaking. Are there any other speakers this evening?
I have a question for Barry, though. We don't have an ordinance, a noise ordinance. We know that. But are we looking into one? And who in the administration, or is it the planning, the zoning? Who's going to make this so this doesn't happen again?
Well, so I want to be clear, and it's something I told Mr. Murata when he came in. When we talk about, quote, shutting down, we don't have, and certainly Mr. Cantor can weigh in as well, we don't have the ability to just go over there and turn the power off. You give somebody a notice violation. If they don't do it, they have due process rights to challenge that violation. If they wind up getting found guilty, they can get fined retroactively for all the time, and that's sort of the risk they run. But when we talk about shutting it down, it's starting that enforcement process. They get the notice violation. They either stop it or they run the risk of getting fined. Ultimately, a judge is the only one, and I'd certainly defer to Mr. Cantor. The judge, by virtue in a court proceeding, would enjoin them, issue an injunction, basically directing them to physically shut the machine off or throw them in jail for
But
contempt.
Barry, that wasn't my question. My question is that I think you said that we really don't have a noise ordinance that can address that.
Well, so
That's the
yeah.
question, is who can put that together for us, for a future?
The only thing that would do is we could have a model noise ordinance that is based on the State Noise Control Act. If you adopt a local ordinance, it allows you, in addition, the current Noise Control Act of the state only regulates commercial to residential. By adopting a local ordinance, you can also regulate, if you choose, residential to residential, and you can have other provisions but have to be you can't be any more lenient than the state code. If you do that, then you automatically become your own enforcing agency, and you're required then to have an employee who's certified, noise person, et cetera, et cetera. Given that this had not, we hadn't had any pervasive amount of noise problems to this point, we always, I think, felt like we could count on the county and rely on the state ordinance. Certainly in light of this, and whether there's some opportunity to potentially have more teeth than the state in situations like this, maybe where it abuts, even though the state says 65 is good enough, maybe locally we would have to look into, and certainly Mr. Cantor's office can look into whether we could have a lower limit, for example, than the state. But that's something, I guess all this has come to light. We're all, I'm learning more about noise in the last 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, are there any other speakers?
Motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would just say, Joyce, we're going to reach out to the county attorney. They're saying 30 days. We're going to fight to see what we can get that down to. As Barry was saying.
I asked them.
Well, they can say that, but you probably didn't talk to the county attorney? Maybe you did? Okay. Barry's going to write a letter to them or email them explaining his interpretation of the statute, and we're going to fight with them and see what we can do.
Mayor, I'm happy to assist on that call if you like also.
And Mayor, I was with you on the call this morning with Barry as well. I think the fines are pretty substantial. And if they retroactively put it in play, and maybe that's one of the things that we should highlight, that the business should really take into consideration. If these are, I mean, these are abnormal numbers, then there is a need to house the facility, if that's what solves it. Reduce the number of units, whatever technologies they need to put in. I think these are the kind of pieces that should come into play as soon as possible. I think that's where we should.
No, agreed, and I think that was also brought up at the call. One of the concerns we had originally when this came up, it involved a vacuum turbine. We noted from the manufacturer sheet that his guy was reading from, it talked about it being enclosed. We met with them, and in good faith, they said, and they were going to put the enclosure in, but then we came to learn about the hoses, and the wall's not going to do anything about the hoses. And so we brought that up today as well and said, like,
Ever. We've only, the test that we're taking, one air hose was going off.
and it went off, right?
There's 17 of them. That's never gonna, even the county guy said it, there's no way this is gonna be ever 65,000.
All right. We're going to do what we can. We're going to now go to reports of township officials and professionals. Town Manager Barry Lewis, anything?
No, just congratulations to the new Mayor Klein, Deputy Mayor Batani. Thank you to outgoing Mayor Ed Meinhardt for all his leadership last year. It was a great reorg. Congratulations, and thank you to the clerk's office for all the work they did in putting together the reorg, and looking forward to a good year in 2026.
Thank you. Russ Jones, Deputy Town Manager.
We recently had one of the bus shelters taken out up by on East Mount Pleasant by Mount Pleasant Middle School.
One of the bus shelters?
Yeah, a person who was actually parked in the parking lot hit the gas instead of the brake, rode up the hill, took out the bus shelter, and then rolled back and hit a parked car. So there's been some summonses issued, and we're in the process of trying to get.
Was anyone in the bus shelter?
No, but fortunately, it was first thing in the morning, and it had been a little bit later, not by minutes or so, there would have been kids in the sidewalk area, and this is right on the sidewalk, so.
Okay.
So if you get any calls about that, is in the process of being replaced, and then we'll have our insurance company go after their insurance company for the replacement cost.
Thank you, Russ. Anything else? Assistant Town Manager Adam Lerner.
No updates at this time.
Thank you. Township Clerk Carolyn Mizuko.
Nothing for me tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Question for you. Have there been any student signups for the next, I know that we were told that a lot of the students that had volunteered before were not eligible to do a second day. They weren't going to get permission from the schools to take off another day.
Yeah, and the other additive is that if they're not doing any training, there's no time for the special election. So if you haven't worked, if your student haven't worked in the general election last November or the primary the year before, depending on your age, you're not going to be able to work the special election. They could work in the primary in June, but it's just such a short window, and there's just not enough time to do any training.
Thank you for that information. Okay. CFO Ann Cucci.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to report that we're closing out the year 2025 and working on 26. And I know you were interested last year. We brought in $2.9 million in interest income from investments this year. So we're going to continue. I know that the interest rates are dropping a bit, but I'm going to look to continue to do business with other banks, including Regal and local banks. So also, there's some new legislation that is permanently extending when we introduce the budget. So that'll be on March 31st, has to be introduced by. So we're going to make that goal this year.
Good. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we definitely want to make sure we're on time. Okay, we're going to, for council comments, Deputy Mayor Keaton Buptani is going to be doing it for us today.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, thank you. And let me start, first of all, by thanking Calvin and our clerk's office. Everyone involved, I think Jen Walker and the senior center staff as well. Wonderfully done reorg meeting. That was our start of the events of this year. Of course, Rabbi Max Edwards of Temple B'nai Abraham for his invocation, and Phal Pandya, the Hindu clergy, for benediction. They did a great job. Mayor, congratulations to you, as well as thank you to the past mayor, Meinhardt. It was a pleasure working with you throughout the year, and also a call out to Ann and Barry on the finance subcommittee. And the interest income that you mentioned is direct result of the better ratings we get, and there is more competition, healthy competition for our debt, and that's kudos to all of you. Wonderful to see all the appointments, Mayor, in that agenda. I think our town hums. It's not think. I think we all know on the council, on the dais here, our town hums because of the volunteers we have. I speak to many council members across the state and different towns. Nobody has even remotely as close volunteer-driven committees and activities like we do. So I can't thank you enough. I know we all thank you, but it's a true appreciation. And of course, on that note, on that event, thank Livingston Television and Mike Izzo, our communications director, for putting everything together. So great work there. Ed and I were at the BOE reorganization meeting as well, representing all of us. So congratulations to Pam Charles, who was elected as the vice president, and Parul Khemka as the president. Look forward to working with both of them. And of course, in 2-on-2 with the mayor as we go along and engage our Board of Education on more critical matters. We had a comedy night at the Temple Bet Shalom. Some of us were able to make it, and it was real good. This one, we had a very good MC of the event, and she really cracked everything up. So that's awesome. As far as upcoming events are concerned, we have one of the major events coming up, the MLK Day. This is hosted by Livingston Committee for Diversity and Inclusion. It's at 9:30, starting at 9:30 up until 11:30 a.m. on Monday, the MLK Day at Senior Center. It is to honor Dr. Martin Luther King, his vision for beloved community, and that's what this program is designed for. So all the leading community and service organizations of our town are taking part: Rotary, Lions, Kiwanis, National Charity League, Livingston Chinese Association, Sanskriti, and plus all the temples and churches, quite a gathering. So I would request everybody to really check it out. A lot of work that goes in, again, run by volunteers and hosted by LCDI. The new governor of New Jersey is taking oath on January 20th, so it's an item for note, whoever is interested. And of course, there'll be a ribbon cutting ceremony, which most of us will be going to January 22nd. These are the number of items before our next council meeting, which is on 26th. So just want to run down on that.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'll just add a couple of comments. So I'm going to start something new this year, which I'm going to call hats off, which is if I want people to tell me if you have someone who deserves a brag from up here on the dais, please reach out, let me know, and we'll give them some acknowledgement. So I want my first hats off to be to the Livingston Police Department. We received a letter from a resident, Julie Silberman, who reached out to let us know that an animal control officer that reported to her property, to her house, when a deer got badly injured. And she was really impressed with how humanely the animal control officer dealt with the situation and helped her family. And she wrote us a letter to let her know how well she felt after, even a difficult situation, that she really felt good about how it was handled. I want to talk about Chestnut Hill streets. I've been in touch with the PSE&G representative, Everton Scott, as well as with Barry and the town engineer, Jeanette. I think anyone who has driven on the Chestnut Hill streets in the last few weeks has seen that they are in atrocious condition. I certainly I live in Chestnut Hill, and I've had all my neighbors complaining to me, and I've been complaining to PSE&G because they came in here and they did some upgrades for our gas lines, which of course is necessary, and we appreciate getting upgrades because it provides better service to us at our homes. But the job that they did repairing the streets afterwards is just not good enough. And then after the couple of storms we had, the streets look terrible, and there's chunks of pavement in places, and there's a problem with the repair because, as I understand it, the asphalt plants don't even go back online until March 1st. So what we have been asking for is for PSE&G to have a plan in place immediately, so that when early March rolls around, they're not just then trying to figure out what they're going to be doing. We're going to be pressing them to make sure that they are ready to go and have all their plans in place so that as soon as there's a fix that's possible, we're going to get that done. There may be some patching in some of the worst spots even before that, but we are really pushing them, and we really have expressed our discontent with the work that's been done and the effect it's had on our residents.
Mayor.
Well, thank you for that information. We'll talk to PSE&G about it. We're just telling you how we're telling us the information we're getting.
You can get asphalt there.
Okay. Barry, why don't we, it may be a lot, I don't know what the amounts are because there's a huge amounts that are needed.
As much as you want.
So-
You don't want to take a real lot because it cools off too quick, so you take a half a load, fix what you got to.
Okay, and I don't know if PSG has contracts, certainly, it may be more complicated than that, but we can try it. We're going to look into it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Another event, just all 11 Democratic candidates for NJ 11th seat were at B'nai Abraham yesterday here in Livingston. So they all came to town. It was organized, and they had a substantive debate talking about a lot of the issues that people are going to care about in this election. And I personally was proud, and the councilmen were here as well, came with us to that event. And I think it was really well run, and I think it just shows that Livingston's on the map, of course, and that they want to be here, and they're looking for our vote. So everyone should be paying attention and reading about what they have to say. And then I just want to echo Deputy Mayor on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This town does a great job with that, and certainly as the Deputy Mayor is the liaison for the LCDI committee. The people that run that committee on a volunteer basis, the amount of work that they do. And the product of the work that they do is just so impressive. And if you want to feel really good and do some really good things, come on out and help them with the charity work on that day. That brings us to our adjournment.
Yeah, and then so we're going to continue. We're going to go back into conference in the conference room. Following this, there'll be no further action taken by this council, with the exception, if something comes up, we reserve our rights to pass a closed session resolution. Although we do not plan on it, there is the possibility of such, but we're passing no other further formal action.
All right, so the public is welcome back in the chambers if they choose to come inside. Thank you. Have a good night.